On the theme of NEC, our next speaker is from NEC. Shu Watanabe is responsible for management and business development for CropScope at NEC Corporation in Japan. CropScope is a digital agricultural platform using AI and analytics to optimize the entire value chain. CropScope is rolling out in 9 countries worldwide to optimize tomato, spices, coffee, sugarcane, and others. Shu-san has academic training in mechanical engineering and has been granted several patents in optical design. Shu-san is also an executive advisor at GRA Japan, which is a well-funded Japan startup in production, sales, and export of agricultural products. Shu-san.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning. Yeah, thank you. So I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not good at English speaker, but so please concentrate my words. So anyway, so thank you for having a great opportunity in this conference, such a nice conference. So finally, I'm happy to say, so this is my first time in my life. So I'm going to Hawaii for not holiday, but business. So this is super cool for me. Yeah. So anyway, so let's start. So I'm Shu Watanabe from NEC, and I'm in charge of business development in agriculture sector in NEC. So now we are focusing agriculture for using IT. Yeah. And today, so I'll talk about the theme of realizing low input and high output through the IT using. So now in Asia, including Japan, almost all the farmers have only 4-5 acres farmland. So maybe this is the same as in here, Hawaii. So, but I'm thinking so we can utilize the IT to increase the productivity. Yeah. But first, so let me give you some introduction of NEC and my background here. Here? Here. No? Here? Oh, yes. So NEC was founded in 1899, and now we have more than 120 years of history and employs more than 110,000 people. So, and also we have 300 group company and 50 countries around the world. We are utilizing cutting-edge technologies such as biometric authentication, AI, and 5G, and that connect everything from ocean floor to outer space. Here. So here, so we are the NEC's world-leading cutting-edge technologies. So biometric authentication. So I know you don't like this kind of technologies, but this is very important for security and safety nowadays. So these are the world's best facial recognition and iris recognition, and also fingerprint recognition technologies we have. And this technology have been implemented to 70 countries and regions now. So here, AI, so NEC, the Y, this is our solution product. So this is very reliable, human-centered, and high accuracy. And also we have 1,800 AI researchers and data scientists. And we also provide a satellite service to government around the world and have our own satellites. So what kind of business can be developed by combining satellite and analysis? Yes, so we can utilize so these satellites technology, not only for climate change, elevation, or soil sampling, soil analysis, but also for agriculture, so we can use for. Yeah. So many companies around the world already developing the business for agriculture using satellites such as Sentinel, WorldView, and Landsat. There are many. And also, we, CropScope, offer the advanced solution that combine the satellite and ground-based data and sensors and the weather forecast, etc. So let's move on to the next slide. So now we're using these technologies and tackling the world crisis. Also, the professor explained the population explosion. Yeah. So now we care about this massive population explosion. Yeah, this is unavoidable. So when I was a child, so the population was less than 5 billion. Yeah, but now almost 8 billion. And also it is anticipated that the population will drastically boost up to 10 billion by 2050. So in the agriculture sector, we have many challenges. So we need to increase the food production. Also, we need to optimize input and stable crop production. So we are working on solutions that solve these issues for the global market. So here, I'd like to introduce my story, not CropScope, my story, but this connects to the theme of realizing low input and high output using IT. So that's how I entered in agriculture sector, because I was used to be an optical engineer. So this is how we achieved high value and reproducibility in agriculture. For a long time, so I have been trying to make not only rural Japan, but also the world smile with Japanese strawberry. So have you ever eaten Japanese strawberry? So they are so sweet and juicy and nice aroma. So we created the brand of strawberry when we started the production in 2011. So the name of the brand is Migaki Ichigo. So Migaki means the pursuit, the better quality and taste. And the Ichigo means that is a Japanese word for strawberry. The most expensive ones, which we call the platinum, are sold for $10 US a piece. So the story of Migaki Ichigo started a little sad, but this is exactly the agricultural revitalization in Japan. So here, the Great East Japan earthquake hit the Miyagi Prefecture in March 2011. So we lost 4% of all the population and almost all the farming area to Yamamoto town by the big tsunami. Maybe you remember. So 125 farmers, strawberry farmers are there, out of 129 farmers washed out by tsunami. So you can see, you can see the ocean. So here is a station, and here is a residential and farming area. So that's all the washed out by tsunami. So after the tsunami, I traveled 3.5 hours each way from Tokyo to this hometown of my friends to volunteer every week. So I started to enter the agriculture sector. So actually, I continued this travel next 5, 6, 7 years. And anyway, 6 months after the earthquake, we did a test production of strawberries, setting a very simple and handmade greenhouse. And a year later, we started a full-scale commercial strawberry production in this picture's greenhouse. So when we first started the strawberry production, so the strawberry craftsman who originally grew the strawberries before the earthquake, so he said he was opposed to us because in Japan, it takes more than 10 years to become a skilled grower, strawberry growers. So we felt that, so if it took more than 10 years, no one would become a strawberry grower, and that industry would decline. So that's why I've been working on the quantifying the experienced growers' know-how and using IT to make farming repeatable. The most important point is to use IT to realize almost the same environment as an experienced grower's one. So after a few years, we made a Migaki Ichigo's lineup. So this is a lineup of Migaki Ichigo. So we produce sparkling wines made by 100% strawberry. Yeah. And here we opened the 10 sweet cafes specializing in strawberry in Tokyo. So of course, we use our own strawberries. Also, we have expanded this business activity to India, Malaysia, and Jordan. Yeah. So thus, we became one of the leading strawberry farmers in Japan within 7 years. So at this time, so we increased the number of our own strawberry production greenhouse to 10, and we also created a program to train new people so who wanted to start their own business in strawberry. So production and many of them became independent within a year, not 10 years. So the key point is integration of a human know-how and IT. So important steps as the first step is the monitoring and diagnosis, the prediction, the prescription. These are very basic. So even you don't use the IT, this is a very basic step. And repeating these basic steps, we can improve the quality of cultivation year after year, so which only happens once a season. Yeah. So far, I have talked about the strawberry in greenhouses, but the same can be said for open field cultivation. Oh, sorry, here. So this is my story until 2020, and now focusing the CropScope. I am focusing the CropScope, and from here I'll introduce CropScope. Yeah, this is very much agri-tech, and this is a record of our low input and high output for processing tomato in Portugal and Australia. Here. So last week, Last week, so we made a big announcement that we are forming a joint venture with Kagome. So we set up a joint venture in Europe. So the Kagome is one of the biggest tomato process company. And so please watch the video of our use case with tomato.
Sánchez Porro, soy ingeniero agrónomo. Prona es una industria de concentrado y zumo de tomate. Está formada por unos 60 productores y hacemos unas 3.100 hectáreas. Antes de utilizar CropScope teníamos que utilizar diversas herramientas para comprobar los estados de las plantaciones. Nos dificultaba mucho el acceso a esa información y aglutinarla.
CropScope, al tener los datos centralizados y acumulados, te permiten ver globalmente la campaña presente y además tomar decisiones de cara al futuro.
Me llamo Wallison. Una de mis responsabilidades consiste en que todo el equipo de campo de Pronat tenga a su disposición toda la información relativa a campo. Toda esta información nos ayuda a, cuando salgamos a campo, enfocarnos en lo que realmente es el problema.
Soy Antonio José Gallardo, soy agricultor de tomate y maíz, sobre todo. Llevamos toda la vida en la agricultura, varias generaciones, Son ya 240 hectáreas de tomate lo que ponemos.
Cuando estoy en campo con el agricultor, miramos las acciones que se van a llevar a cabo y a través de CropScope podemos compartirlas con nuestros compañeros de fábrica.
La comunicación es perfecta porque te permite ver tanto sensores como satélites y cualquier alerta que detecten en la aplicación, los técnicos me la trasladan rápidamente y yo lo veo en la aplicación.
Soy Juan Aguas, director de la fábrica de tomates de Pronat. Todo ese conjunto de datos que tenemos tanto a nivel de campo como a nivel industrial los podemos compilar con la ayuda de CropScope para poder tomar una serie de decisiones. El objetivo que tenemos con CropScope y el que esperamos de la inteligencia artificial es poder saber los rendimientos que tenemos en el campo y además poder predecir cuándo vamos a cosechar un determinado campo.
Con toda esta información lo que hacemos es crear modelos predictivos de los cultivos. Esto te ayudará a optimizar las producciones y estabilizarlas a lo largo del tiempo.
Entre los agricultores, los técnicos de fábrica y CropScope vamos evolucionando en el campo y rentabilizando y creciendo juntos para la mejora de la empresa.
Thank you. So they are farming the very huge area, but so we don't care about size of land because in Japan, I said, the average farmers has only 4 or 5 acres, less than 4 or 5 acres. Also, the India or the same. Yeah. So in order to achieve the low input and high out farming, so we need to get deeper into the idea of monitoring, so diagnosis, and prediction and prescription. So again, so this is a very basic steps, and I explained one by one. Let's see. So monitoring, so what do we need to look like? As first, the final goal is to increase the yield or to reduce the fertilizer and the water while maintaining the yield. So the key is to know how the plants are growing and the environment in which they are growing. So we use the soil sensors, satellites, and drones to monitor the plants. For this monitoring, we select the services from around the world and connect them to our CropScope. So because NEC is good at the analysis, so I don't want to develop the hardware, so I don't want to develop the monitoring tool by ourselves. So I'm still looking at the cutting edge monitoring tool. So I showed the UC Davis the monitoring tool. That's really nice. So yeah. So here, the farm introduction. Here. Yeah. So monitoring. So here, the farm information using a CropScope and the light pictures is a soil moisture monitoring. So you can see the blue line is ideal soil moisture capacity, and this green line is actual record. So then here, the monitoring again, so the vegetation change during the season. You can see the variation from farm to farm. The left picture shows a month or 2 months after the planting. Also, the right pictures shows the before harvesting in sugarcane farm. So the green, densely green, is a more matured of the vegetation. So next, I'm talking about the diagnosis. So diagnosis is the result obtaining from the monitoring, whether they are good or bad, and also where the problems are. To make disease diagnosis more sophisticated, it is helpful to know when and how much fertilizer and water was applied, and also to understand how it did last year too. So this is soil moisture graph. We can see the irrigation was how good or bad. So again, so this blue line is the ideal soil moisture capacity, and the green line was a record. So here is a little late because this yellow and green line zone is good for the soil and the plants. So here is a good timing, and here is a good too much water, so we can reduce the water. And here is too late to apply the water. So we can see that here, using a soil moisture sensor. This is very basic and very entry to monitor and diagnose the situation. But this is very helpful. Yeah, this is soil nitrogen monitoring from satellite. So left picture, in Hokkaido, Japan, we especially focus on hydrothermal extractable nitrogen. So it is difficult to pronounce for me. So light color place is a low nitrogen, and the dark color place is a high nitrogen in the soil. The light picture, it is difficult, but so there's very light color line, but this is the result of forgetting to sow the seedling here. Yeah. So we can see from satellite. So this is farm comparison of vegetation and the weather with the actual weather record. And light picture shows the compare and analyze the causes. So comparison may allow for diagnosis. So next, the prediction. The third, I'm talking about prediction. It predicts what will happen if things continue as they are, and what is going to happen to soil moisture, when will disease occur, and also what will the yield be. So this is soil moisture graph. And the soil moisture prediction. We can see past record, the left side, and each 10 centimeter for 5 layers, and see the prediction also. So this figure comes from calculation considering weather forecast. This is a rainfall forecast, and also we're using soil physicality. And so next, here is a disease risk prediction. For example, you grow grape. We can see the risk about the gray mold, powdery mildew, and the downery mildew. So here we set, maybe it's too small, but here we set the grape disease. And we can see how much area here, how much area the disease risk, and also how much percentage at risk for disease, these types of disease, we can see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, oh. Here, again, this is a prediction for yield. So we use a technology called the crop growth ideal curve, so which predict yield and timing. So this is done by collecting historical data and creating patterns like this. Using our historical data, we create patterns. And then applying these patterns to current growth to make prediction. Here is the ideal curve, and this is the actual, the current curve, so we can forecast the yield. And we have developed some crops, but this is still under development, depend on the crops. But if this can be done for any crops, it will have a huge impact on harvest arrangement, collecting arrangement, also the yield improvement at the processing factory as well. So the last step is prescription. So our AI guide automatically calculates fertilizer application and irrigation amount and time. The picture on the right is a fertilizer map for BRT to be input into the farm machinery. So BRT is a variable rate technology. yeah, we are applying to using a machinery. Yeah. So here, I'll explain about the crop growth model, which we generated. So parameters that cannot be measured are automatically estimated from interrelationships in the natural environment. So statically, calculation shows the strongly correlated items. Even we don't understand, but statically, yeah, they can show. So we are using NEC's core technology for prediction and prescription. So no need to accumulate huge amount of past data, highly accurate forecasting from the first year, whereas it normally takes several years. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So now we are providing a CropScope over 10 countries and lots of crops such as veggies, fruit trees, and grains. So also in the tropical area, coffee, sugarcane, yeah. Also, last page. Yeah. The agriculture has traditionally been a very human-centered industry, but by utilizing the IT in this way, it has become it has become possible to produce high output in a stable and efficient way. Thank you very much.